What a joy and delight to be integral part of this interesting combination of institutions and their leaderships, trying to bring the overall perspective in terms of economic development and the opportunities in Qatar. Qatar is a country of great substance. In the last 15 months, ever since COVID was pronounced as a pandemic, the economic governance, social governance, environmental governance, and human governance have been exemplary. We have seen the reflection in terms of policies, procedures, redefining to cope up with the changing dynamics. In the day, Qatar is outstanding performance. Combination of speakers today, exemplary in pursuit of the practicing profession, what the industry they belong to is very much evident. Mr. Yusuf Jaidat is a star in terms of management of his institution, Qatar Financial Center. Rashid Al Mansouri, prolific in terms of the overall administration of Qatar Exchange, and he has shown the new initiatives, as good as last week when he signed a deal with in Moscow, aligning in total terms with these capital markets coming together between Russia and Qatar. We also have Qatar Development Bank. The efforts to bring in sustainability, making sure the overall economic sustenance is not getting challenged for small and medium-sized entrepreneurs. With the changing pace of the world, with the changing pace of digital transformation, including creating a fintech hub, their contribution in the last 1 year has been prolific and highly professional. The most awaited inputs we all need from the healthcare sectors, the global pandemic, whether it's a first wave or second wave, what is in store for the coming days, has been a curiosity for many, for us to know what exactly in the offer. But having said that, we lost nearly 3.74 million people around the world. We also had 175 million people impacted. Even now, when those has been given for nearly 2.12 billion people, and fully vaccinated is 568 million. That is hardly 5.9% of the global population. But Qatar, what exactly been the accomplishments? We know it's over 40% has been fully vaccinated, but the details are coming through from none other than the professional consultant doctor of meritocracy in the medical professions. He's joining from Moscow after attending the St. Petersburg Economic Forum. He's kind enough to dial in from Moscow, Dr. Sheikh Mohammed, Director of Public Health in Qatar administration. So we have a combination of speakers who are going to enlighten you with the changing dynamics, what exactly Qatar continuing governance and why Qatar is still an opportunity. Not only we know the risk, we also know the development which Qatar has envisaged with a committed 2030 vision. And that's what precisely His Highness Emir has enlightened in the St. Peter's Economic Forum. Now, from my perspective, as a financial institution, we have a lot to say, but I'm going to limit my content for the next 7 to 8 minutes to showcase the various developments in the last 1 year to ensure the financial stability is not getting challenged. The debt servicing capacity, which was impaired on account of this COVID, is not an issue. Qatar's economic sustenance in terms of the overall liquidity, productivity, and profitability, even sectoral momentum, has not diminished. And that's what exactly I would like to highlight. Now, global economies are still reeling under pressure. We all know. We have reasons to believe the economic indications which came from IMF in October was continuously getting challenged. 2020 October, in the annual meeting, which was virtual again, was projecting over 6.5%. Then it was revised downward in April, 6%. Advanced economies are supposed to do around 5.1%. And developing economies, emerging markets, are progressing to the tune of 6.7%. And Middle East, North Africa, Afghanistan, Pakistan put together around 3.5%. That's again today. Today, World Bank has challenged it. Let's look at the numbers which was originally projected. Now, today's outcome is still challenging. Instead of 6% growth, it has been revised downward to 5.6%. When it comes to advanced economies, instead of 5.1%, it is moving up to 5.4% because they are vaccinated, majority of the public. Countries like United States, extraordinary administration in terms of execution. And they have administered so well, and they are back in track in terms of overall economic momentum. When it comes to developing economies, emerging economies, there is a downward revision by World Bank from 6.7 to 6%. So this combination in aggregate term, global growth has been revised downward from 6% to 5.4%. So that's the situation. When it comes to economic sustenance, US Fed action has been exemplary. They are contemplating whether to taper further, whether to increase the interest rate, whether the inflation is permanent or temporary. It's all transitory. Most of the economists understand it is transitory. And we also have to understand it's not one single window we can influence the interest rate. We have to look at the jobless claims. Unless the jobless claims are reducing, employment opportunities are created, Federal Reserve Chairman has spelled it out. Again, US Treasury Secretary is on consonance with holding on the low interest rate. See, that's the synchronized model across the globe. And that's what exactly the issues are all about. Now, when it comes to Qatar economy, I'm sure, is in the right direction. I'm sure my colleagues are going to showcase. Yusuf will, many of the micros he will deal with. Now, 2030 vision, which was enlightened to the Russian audience, global audience by Anas Emir, has spelled out many of the directions. The human development, social development, environment development, and the governance allied to all this economic development essentially is concentrating on many spheres in terms of professional advancement for healthcare, education, digital transformations, and again, advanced manufacturing. So many of the synchronized policies in line with the National Development Program Qatar has envisaged is being executed. And that's what perhaps I will give it as a snapshot. Now, the fiscal policy has been prudent. The budget has been framed. $40, but the reality is different. It's first quarter reported over 62.5 per barrel. Now, the second quarter again is averaging around $65. So Qatar's fiscal deficit of 35 billion is a history. When it comes to government expenditure, 194 billion is definitely there, we know. When it comes to revenues, perhaps it will be increasing because of the reflection of the oil price. So we will have current account surplus, possibly fiscal surplus as well as possible. So the government expenditure has been redirected in many forms on the priority: healthcare, education, sports, transportations, environment, municipal development, urban development. And those are priorities. Qatar is modernizing and integrating with the rest of the world. Second, and central bank has taken extraordinary decisions, and we have seen the reflection in terms of debt servicing, easing the individuals or institutions, small or medium. Qatar Development Bank, I'm sure Mr. Khalid will enlighten, has taken enormous support, to the small and medium-sized entrepreneurs. extraordinary waivers and ensuring the small and medium-sized entrepreneurs are not at distress. Wage protection or rentals or duties, and again, with a combination of commercial banks and Qatar Development Bank coming together, ensuring debt servicing is eased, waived on occasions. Overall, if you look at the policy promulgations, the pronouncement has been debt servicing, installment waiver, or interest waiver has been deferred till September. With the second or third or mutants which is prevailing, we don't know when the crisis will end. Dr. Sheikh Mohammed will enlighten. Central bank has unveiled a currency note, and we have seen the momentum. If you look at the latest combined banking position, credit growth is around 5.6% for the last 4 months. Deposit growth is around 4.2%. We also seen the growth in many sectors. Government has borrowed 12%. When it comes to retail, 5.85%. Look at the overall productivity index in Qatar. Month after month, 1 to 1.5% growth is there. Production, manufacturing, the PMI index is also exemplary in terms of economic momentum. We have seen the acceleration in the contract financing. Trade is 0.5% growth so far. And we also have seen real estate has grown by 0.5% compared to the previous year. So there is an all-round growth and sustainable economic momentum. That's what we want to tell you to the global audience. Hydrocarbon development, the minister has spelled out, we are going to move from the North Field East from 77 to 110 by 2025. Again, when it comes to South, 110 to 125 by 2025, this is all going to add value to the overall hill. If I put in one fabric, oil equivalent of 1.4 million additional barrels will be pumped. That's the revenue we are targeting. That's going to be a major boost for the overall fiscal consolidation as well as the monetary situation, financial stability for the country for years to come. And that's what the reassurance the government is telling you. They have taken right decisions to support further. In April, the cabinet met. The reforms have been exemplary, and they're going to continue to support, knowing the market conditions, knowing the global scene in terms of the healthcare. Trade has moved. If you look at the volumes, it has touched 13 billion, it's double in terms of exports. And that's beautiful. That's very, very conciliatory when it comes to solid financial structure. Now, when it comes to FIFA, 2022 has been in the right trend. Now we have sustainable World Cup, and COVID has accelerated more interest in this process. Essentially, the support which is coming from the global football lovers and the reforms which are coming up in terms of the governance of the overall FIFA administrations 2022 is going to be state of the world. And that's what we are all looking for. This World Cup will be different, and that's what exactly the situation is all about. Qatar Airways has taken enormous amount of initiatives. Arguably, their connections are expanding globally, and they've run fully vaccinated flights, and that's the first of its kind in the world. That shows tremendous amount of leadership. It's the airport, seaport, name it. Every single port, whether Ruwais or Doha, every one as Hamad port for that matter. If you look at the volume, it tripled. That's what you should understand as a global audience. Qatar is in the right direction. Qatar Free Zone has been set with, it is 3 billion is what the layout they have allocated to support the small and medium-sized entrepreneurs. It is strategically located. We all know if you look at the geographical location of Qatar, 3 continents are interfacing it, and we are going to have extraordinary opportunities. Qatar Financial Center itself is an opportunity. I'm sure my colleague Yusuf Jaida, prolific speaker he is going to enlighten you. And we have business opportunities in multiple forms, whether sports or digital, financial, or media. Investment laws have changed. Investment laws have been outstanding. Now, in 2019, it was pronounced clearly that 100% ownership, including allocation of land, even for non-Qataris, is possible, right? Then came public-private partnership model last year, May. His Highness Emir has pronounced the public-private partnership model. That is another combination. That is where the healthcare and education, now the business is actually happening. We have many schools are coming up. Now, Barwai as an institution is integrating these opportunities in making sure the public utilities, healthcare, education comes in with the public-private partnership model. That's reassuring to one and all. Property laws have changed. That's in October last year. Expatriate can own. If you put $1 million money as an investment, then you have a permanent residency with healthcare and education value advantage. So Qatar is refining itself in substance. As an investment destinations, we have seen reflection. Our competitive business climate is improving. Qatar foreign ownership this year, April, I'm sure my colleague Rashid Mansouri is going to enlighten what it means to the overall inflow of investments. So these are not ordinary promulgations. Qatar has got a considered vision. That is what we need to understand. April 2021, they have said foreign ownership limits are going to be relaxed. 100% you can own. Qatar Exchange Traded Funds as an indicator, barometer of the Qatar market. We have very successful administration on that. That's shaping up well. And Doha Bank itself is a party to it. And we have seen food security. Blockade gave enough self-sustenance, and we have reasons to believe food security has been well-founded now. We have no shortage of food whatsoever, whatever be the contingency situations. Qatar FinTech Hub, I'm sure Mr. Khalid is going to enlighten as a part of his overall presentations. They are the leader in the game. And Doha Bank is also having this partnership with QDB to promote innovation in the frame. We have seen many sandboxes are getting set to promote value advantage for innovation and entrepreneurship. So plenty of reasons to believe we have business startups are shaping up, business climate is improving, and we have a business to make. If you need sustainable value creations, Qatar is a location. In global scene, we have seen progressive policy decisions which are influencing. Qatar is also a party to Zero Net Emission Club. Whether solar or wind, we have enough reasons to believe LNG itself is energy efficient, environment friendly. That has got long-term energy mix change across the globe, including emerging markets. Sustainable development journey is committed. Qatar's visionary leadership is committed for sustainable development journey, and that's what the excitement is all about. We are caring for the nature. We have a considered focus. Not only we concentrate on hydrocarbon, we are here to make sure we create better world, better citizenship to this world. That's my introduction. And now, let me have the pleasure of welcoming the Qatar Development Executive Director, Khalid Al-Mana, to present his outcome of the activities over the last 1 year.